Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Josie's Point of View, where we focus on human interest stories from the Carolinas and beyond. Today's Thursday and it's September the 22nd, 2022. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new to my channel, I'd like to extend to you a warm welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you find the information here to be informative. And if you're a return viewer, by all means, thank you for coming back. You know, I always say the tide changes so frequently here on these YouTube streets. So you always have to acknowledge where your support comes from. And I want you to know I sincerely thank you for your support. Feel free to like and to share this video. And don't forget to subscribe. And our story today takes us to Fort Bragg here in North Carolina. Take a look at the headline. And it reads, another Fort Bragg paratrooper killed in off-post shooting. I'll provide you with a summary here, and as always, I'll place links to a few of the full articles in the description box. Well, sadly, we have news of another Fort Bragg paratrooper who lost his life in an off-post shooting incident. And sadly, this is probably either the third or the fourth death of this nature I've had to report on this year. And this is what has been reported about this incident. It was on Tuesday of last week, and that was Tuesday, September the 13th at approximately 11 p.m. Police responded to report that a man was shot outside an apartment complex here in the city of Fayetteville. Upon arriving at the scene, Fayetteville police found an African-American male with multiple gunshot wounds. Unfortunately, emergency responders were unable to save his life, and he was pronounced dead at the scene. Police also reported that the automobile belonging to the deceased was taken from the scene, although they did not release any type of specifics about the car to the vehicle, such as, the make, the model, and so forth, and that seemed rather unusual. But they also indicated this shooting did not appear to be a random act, alluding that it was possible that the deceased victim knew his killer. And 2 days later, we learned the identity of the deceased, and Fort Bragg officials confirmed that he was an active duty service member. He was identified as 22-year-old Nicholas Antonio Bubu, a paratrooper and an automated logistical specialist assigned to the Division's 407th Brigade Support Battalion. Reports say Sergeant Bobo was originally from Cordova, Tennessee. He joined the Army in 2018, and based on reports, Fort Bragg was his first military assignment. He has been here since 2019, so I guess after completing his military training, he was stationed here at Fort Bragg, and I already mentioned he was an automated logistics specialist. His awards and decorations include the Army Good Conduct Medal, the Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, the Army Achievement Medal, the Parachute Badge, and the Driver Mechanic Badge. And as I was doing my research, I saw this picture listed on the National Gun Archives. It lists his name, the day he was killed, an email to an article announcing his death. It also gives our individual an opportunity to light a candle on his behalf, and it identified that his nickname is Nick. And again, this information came from the National Gun Archives. Reports say Sergeant Bobo was married and the father of a young daughter. We're sending prayers and words of comfort to his family, and that includes his wife, his daughter, his parents, and other relatives, as well as to his extended family here in Fort Bragg community. We're so very sorry for your loss. I'm sure this senseless loss has left you speechless and with so many unanswered questions. And that's a fact. I could relate to that. The last I heard, both Fayetteville Police as well as Fort Bragg CID, the Criminal Investigation Division, we heard that they're both working together on this case, and there are no leads and no suspects that are currently known, and if they know it, they're not just telling us. I also mentioned earlier that Sergeant Bobo's automobile was taken when he was shot, and police are suggesting that this may not have been a random shooting, alluding that Sergeant Bobo may have had some knowledge of his killer. We don't know all the facts, and we're just not going to speculate. And just as I was preparing to upload this video, we had breaking news. It was a breaking news report, and it's probably the best news people in this community could have wished for. Fayetteville police announced a major break in the case. So we learned that these two men pictured here were taken into custody and charged with murder. And this explains why police and other investigators were so tight-lipped. They wanted to make sure no information got out that would compromise their investigation. And according to reports, Fayetteville police say the investigation into Sergeant Boba's death led them to Durham, where they recovered his vehicle. And as a result, these two men, Timothy Renee Nava, age 18, my God, age 18, and Niza McKees Bennett, age 19. They're both kids. They were both taken into custody with the assistance of Durham police and the U.S. Marshal, and both men, they were not arrested at the same time. We've since learned that Timothy Nava, he was arrested on September the 19th, and Niza McKees Bennett was arrested 2 days later on September the 21st. Now, both men have been charged with first-degree murder, felony conspiracy, robbery with a dangerous weapon, and shooting into an occupied dwelling. Both men are currently being held in the Cumberland County Detention Center, where bond was denied, and police are saying that the investigation is ongoing. This is really a sad day in our community for a number of reasons, and there are definitely no winners here. And this is the third murder we've learned about within the past week where the accused are just children. They're children. 17-year-old, 18-year-old, 19-year-old, they are still children. So there are definitely no winners. But at least there is some comfort in knowing that those responsible, those deemed responsible in the murder of this paratrooper, Sergeant Bobo, that they're in custody and they will face justice in a court of law. Now, I was searching for funeral plans, and at the time of this video, no funeral plans have been identified. I was able to see that Serenity Funeral Home in Memphis, Tennessee, has him listed on their roster, and but as of this morning, there's no obituary. It has not been completed, and no specific funeral plans have been identified. So once again, we're saying farewell to another paratrooper, another soldier whose life has been cut short in such a senseless manner. And even though we may not understand the circumstances, nonetheless, we pause ever so briefly to acknowledge his passing, to send prayers and condolences to his family and friends, and we continue to pray for our servicemen and women wherever they might be. But for now, another soldier has completed his journey. So Sergeant Nicholas Antonio Bobo, your mission is complete. So rest well, my friend, and thank you for your service. And that's all I have for you right now. Feel free to leave me a comment below and let me know what you think about this video. And by all means, feel free to like it and to share it. And if you haven't done so already, I want to invite you to subscribe to my channel by clicking on that red subscribe button. It's on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. And if you click on the bell that looks just like this one here, it's the notification bell. If you click on that notification bell, you'll be the first to know whenever a new video is uploaded. I thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.